Hello again YouTubers, I'm back and I'm going to be reading to My Thomas Story Library, Flora. Hope you'll enjoy it. Flora. This is a story about Flora, a new steam tram on the island of Sodor. Thomas thought that Toby would be upset if he knew there was another tram engine on my railway, but Flora soon proved how really useful she could be. Thomas and Toby are very good friends. One bright morning, Thomas puffed past Toby's shed. "Hello, Toby," he peeped. "You look happy." "The Fat Controller has asked me to lead the parade at the first Great Waterston Festival," Toby wheezed excitedly. Thomas was pleased for his friend. "Everyone will cheer for you, Toby. You're the only steam tram on Sodor," he smiled. Thomas puffed quickly away. The Fat Controller was waiting for him at Great Waterton. When Thomas arrived in Great Waterton, he stopped suddenly in his tracks. "Fizzling fireboxes!" he gasped. There, on the road next to the track, was another steam tram. "Thomas," boomed the Fat Controller, "this is Flora. She's the new steam tram on Sodor." Flora smiled happily. "Hello, Thomas," she puffed. Hello," Thomas puffed back. "Flora is to lead the parade with Toby," the Fat Controller said. "Please take her to meet him. Then Toby can bring Flora back here in time for the parade." Flora's crew changed her road wheels for steel railway ones so that she could travel on the track. "Toby thinks he's leading the parade all by himself," he worried quietly. "I must keep Flora away from Toby until after the parade." Thomas knew he would get into trouble with the Fat Controller, but didn't want Toby to be upset. Before long, Thomas and Flora were steaming through the countryside. When they had to stop at a signal, an idea flew into Thomas's funnel. "I will take Flora to do one of my jobs before we go to see Toby," he chuckled to himself. "That way, Toby is sure to have set off to lead the parade." "Let's go to the woodyard first," Thomas puffed to Flora. "It won't take long." "That sounds splendid," Flora smiled sweetly, and she steamed after him. At the woodyard, Thomas collected a flatbed of logs. "Now we can go and meet Toby," he chuffed. Flora was pleased. "Hooray!" she peeped. Toby, you must go. Hurry now to lead the show," Thomas puffed to himself as they set off. Thomas and Flora soon reached the junction by Toby's shed. The shed looked empty. They were about to go again when Thomas saw steam coming from inside. "Cinders and ashes," Thomas wheezed quietly. "Toby's still there. He mustn't see Flora." Thomas puffed off as fast as his wheels would carry him. "Quickly, Flora," he whistled loudly. "I've just remembered, we must go to the quarry first." Flora was surprised. "If you say so, Thomas," she chuffed chirpily, and she followed Thomas down a narrow track to the quarry. At the quarry, Thomas coupled up to some slate trucks. "Now we can go to meet Toby," he told Flora. Flora was excited. Toby, please have gone. Lead the show, be proud and strong," he puffed to himself. The two engines went back to Toby's shed. This time, Thomas was sure it was empty. Suddenly, there was a ding-ding sound. It was Toby's bell. "Oh no," thought Thomas. "Toby's still inside his shed. He mustn't see Flora." "Quickly, Flora," Thomas wheezed. "We're late to pick up my load at the docks." Flora was surprised. "If you say so, Thomas," she said warily, and they clickety-clacked back down the track. At the docks, Thomas was coupled up to his large load to take to Great Waterton. Thomas was sure Toby would be leading the parade by now. "Come on, Flora," he whistled. Flora's axles ached. Then there was trouble. Flora had chuffed too far and run out of coal. "I'm sorry, Thomas," Flora cried. Her wheels wobbled weakly as she came to a stop. Thomas felt sorry. He knew it was his fault. But just then he heard a chuff and a puff and the ding-ding of a bell. It was Toby. "Thomas, I've been waiting for you," Toby huffed. Then he saw Flora. "Who's that?" he gasped. Thomas was worried. Neither of them was at the parade. The Fat Controller would be very cross. "Flora, this is Toby. Toby, this is Flora," Thomas puffed bravely. But instead of being upset, Toby smiled. "Oh, Thomas, I wanted to tell you that I was too scared to lead the parade all by myself. Now, Flora and I can lead it together." Thomas had to put right his mistake, and quickly. "Flora, take some of my coal," Thomas chuffed. "I'll collect more from the coal shed." So Thomas's crew took some of his coal and made a good fire in Flora's firebox. Before long, Flora felt much better. "Now puff as fast as you can to Great Waterton," Thomas told the two tram engines. Toby and Flora chuffed quickly away. Thomas puffed into Great Waterton just in time to see the flatbed being unloaded. It was a wonderful tram car for Flora. Flora gasped. Toby rang his bell. Ding, ding! And Thomas smiled as his two friends set off, leading the first ever Great Waterton parade. The children cheered and the brass band boomed. Toby and Flora looked splendid. "Now I have two best friends," Thomas peeped, "and they are both steam trams." And that's it. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'll see you later. Until next time, don't forget to subscribe for more. Bye!